Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Belmont Park here on Saturday. It is the 9th of July, 2022. We're going to look at the stakes races on the program from Belmont, but before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kid 5 for more selections for race courses around the world, and I mean it around the world. Let's look at the stakes action, races 4, 7, 8, and 9 from Belmont. The fourth race, it's the Suburban Stakes. It's a grade 2 event going for a purse $400,000. Race for 4-year-olds and upwards. We have a field of 5 horses going to the Belmont main track. The distance of ground here of 2,000 meters, or the distance of ground of 1.25 miles on the Belmont main track. 2,000 meters, 1.25 miles here in the Suburban. A race always used to be run on July 4th, but now with, times are changed, so they have to move it to Belmont Derby Day. It's been a while like that. But my top selection, I'm going to go with the one horse Untreated. Let's go 1-4-5-3 in the superfecta. 1-4-5-3 super. Top selection, one horse Untreated. 4-year-old colt by Nyquist. Tom Pletcher trains this one. Joel Rosario gets the mount. The horse's most recent outing came in the Pimlico Special at Pimlico, mile 3/16 on the 20th of May, and the horse finished third by 1 1/4 lengths that day. He was with them early on, seeing some decent fractions, but then he just kind of crumbled late. First captain really closed up from nowhere to get the job done. This horse just couldn't keep up. Coming here to be the main speed in this race, could probably slow it down. Lower post draws going monocord with forwardly pace is always what you want here at Belmont. I think he could really run a good race here today. Two back in the Excelsior at Aqueduct, mile 8th on the 2nd of April. He finished second by a head behind Forewarned, who closed up from nowhere that day and really ran a good race. This horse just kind of stalked and just couldn't get to Forewarned, who was just better on the day. And then prior to that, the Manshaft Stakes at the Fairgrounds, mile 16th and 19th of February. He finished 6th by 5 lengths, was stupidly wide that day, never changed the leads, and he just never quickened up. He definitely needed the race there. And then an Aqueduct on New Year's Eve on the mud, 1 mile off 6-2. The horse went by 3/4 length. He broke horribly that day, but settled well after that, and he got the job done. An all-around easy run. I like him over the monocore. He's definitely bred for it. At 3-1, let's use him. You also have to use the 4-horse First Captain. I love his Pimlico Special when closing up from nowhere that day. I would like to see him sit a little closer than he was in that Pimlico Special, but I think the monocore is what he really wants to do. They tried him the Carter 2-back, which I just thought he was facing a too tough a competition in that kind of race. Speaker's Corner, really good horse. Mind Control finished third, a decent horse. Reinvestment Risk, decent horse. He just wasn't ready for that race at that time. But coming here, mile and a quarter, I'm going to use him on the ticket. But to recap my selection for the fourth from Belmont, it's the grade 2 Suburban. Let's take the one horse Untreated. Give kudos to the 4-horse First Captain. 1-4-5-3 super. Let's go 1-4 in your multi-race. Let's head over to race number 7 now from Belmont. It is the Belmont Oaks. It's a grade 1 event going for a purse $700,000. Races for 3-year-old fillies. We have a field of 10 horses going to the Belmont Inner Turf Course with a distance of ground of 2,000 meters, or the distance of ground of 1.25 miles on the Belmont main track. 2,000 meters, 1.25 miles main track. My top selection, I'm going to go with the number 3 horse here, Haughty. Let's go 3-10-4-5 in the superfecta. 3-10-4-5 super. Top selection, 3-horse Haughty. This 3-year-old Philip Empire Maker. Chad Brown trains. Flavian Pratt gets the mount. The horse's most recent outing came 3rd June at Penn National. Soft ground, 1 mile in the Penn National Oaks. And the horse won by 4 3/4 lengths that day. He just basically stalked all the way around the race course. When he quickened up at 40 cents a dollar, this horse really put on a show. This horse was cranked up. An all-around great run. Come to 1 mile and a quarter. This horse is bred for through and through. Forwardly paced. I think this horse could give the Euros a good run for the money, and I think you'll get a better price than those Euro horses in this race. 2 back, the horse ran the Brews Cup Juvenile Fillies Turf at Del Mar, 1 mile on the 5th of November. The horse finished third by 3/4 length that day. Had a very wide poster, which was a detriment to this horse, but settled well early. He closed up a little bit that day, but just had a little bit too much trouble from that wide poster earlier on to get the W. And then a Keeneland in mid-October, mile 16th in main special weight. The horse won by 4 lengths, and basically from a track position, the horse won quite nicely. They must think highly of the horse run from main special weight to the Brewers Cup, where she didn't run half bad at all. Coming here today, she's definitely been on the improve. Getting the mile quarter at 5-20. I love her a lot in this spot, to the point of I'm going to single her in the late pick 4 or in the late pick 5 that begins with this race. But to recap my selection for the 7 from Belmont, it's the grade 1 Belmont Oaks. Let's take the 3-horse Haughty, 3-10-4-5 super. I'm going to single that 3 in the multi-race. The 8th race from Belmont, it is the Victory Ride Stakes. It's a grade 3 event going for a purse of $150,000. Race for 3-year-old fillies. We have a field of 7 horses going to the Belmont main track, the distance of ground of 1,300 meters, or the distance of ground of 6.5 furlongs on the Belmont main track. 1,300 meters, 6.5 furlongs here in the Victory Ride. My top selection, I'm going to go take the number 3 horse, the number 4 horse, Happy Soul. That was the 4 horse, Happy Soul. 4-6-5-2 for me in the superfecta. 4-6-5-2 super. Top selection of 4 horse, Happy Soul. 3-year-old filly by Run Happy. Wesley Ward trains. John Velazquez gets the mount. The horse's most recent out came 20th of May at Pimlico. 6 furlongs in the Grade 3 Miss Preakness Stakes. And the horse finished second by 2 3/4 lengths that day. And just, set some wicked fast fractions early on. Couldn't keep up late. It just wasn't the day to win. Coming here, a little lesser spot, going 6.5. She's in a better spot to win. 2 back, they ran her in a race I thought was wrong. They ran her in the Ashland at Keeneland over the mile 16th, where she finished 6th by 25 lengths, and she was very overbet that day. She stalked and completely hit the wall. That was probably a test that we won't try again there. And then before then, the Dixie at Oakland, 6 furlongs on the 19th of February. First off, the long refreshing, winning by 3 lengths. This horse took off clear and all around good race. And then as a 2-year-old, won the Astoria by nearly a dozen and broke the main at Belmont by nearly a dozen. Nothing bad about those races at all. Has some forwardly pace here today. Training well. I think she could get some redemption from her last run. I think another horse you have to use here is the number 6 horse, Hot Peppers. Rudy Rodriguez trains one for Luis Saez, gets the mount. Most recently, the horse won the Jersey Girl on the front end all throughout. And she's run great, but throw out that Tampa race in the sophomore Florida Stallions Phillies sprint. Over the 7, you either handle the Tampa surface or you don't. This horse just really couldn't handle it that day, and she completely crumbled. A little, it just wasn't her day to win there at Tampa. Take that race out. Her buyers are up to scratch. She's a fast horse. At 4-1, I'll definitely use her in the late pick 5. But to recount my selection for the 8th from Belmont, it's the Victory Ride. Let's take the 4 horse Happy Soul. Give kudos to the 6 horse Hot Peppers. 4-6-5-2 super. 4-6 in your multi race. The 9th race from Belmont. It is the featured Belmont Derby. It's a Grade 1 event going for a purse of $1 million. Races for 3-year-olds here. We have a field of 13 horses, a baker's dozen heading to the inner turf course. The distance of ground of 2,000 meters, or the distance of ground of 1.25 miles on the Belmont inner turf course. 2,000 meters, 1.25 miles inner turf. And we did have some rain actually Friday. Well, a nice little thunderstorm Friday afternoon here in New York City. So the turf course might have some given a slight give, but it's been very, very dry here the last week and a half. So it might have needed it. But the top selection, I'm going to go with the 10 horse Nation's Pride. I'm going to go 10-3-7-13 in the superfecta. 10-3-7-13 super. Top selection 10 horse Nation's Pride. 3-year-old Colts here. Charlie Appleby trains one for Godolphin. Frankie Dettori gets on this one. The horse's most recent outing came the 4th of June at Belmont, 1.5 miles in the English Derby. And the horse finished 8th by 13 quarter lengths that day. He basically just stalked all the way around the race course and then kind of hit the wall. He got beat by better horses. It just wasn't the horse's day to win. Coming here stateside where the horse gets a little closer on this faster turf course, I think the horse could really run a good race today. 2 back in the listed Newmarket Stakes in Newmarket, 1.25 miles on the 29th of April. The horse won by 7 lengths, and from a stalking position, this horse quickened up nicely and got the job done. A very easy race for this horse there. And then the Jumeirah Derby at Maidan over the 1.25 miles on the 25th of February. It's just basically, a conditions or a novice allowance race stakes there. The horse won by 3 1/4 lengths that day. And again, from a tracking position, this horse really just won quite easily. The 2-year-old form in England wasn't bad at all. This horse, he has some speed if he wants to use it. But I wouldn't be surprised to use it from the wide poster. At 5-1, we'll definitely use him. I think you have to use the 3 horse here, Napoleonic War for Chad Brown. Most recently, the Pennine Ridge. This horse just closed up a little bit too late. Getting the extra furlong should suit this horse well. Getting a better poster should suit him well. And getting Flavien Prat should suit this horse well. He's on the improve, training well. 10-1, we'll use him on the ticket. And also the 7 horse Side Dog. Most recently in American Turf, the horse just, I don't know if the horse handled the turf course at Churchill, but I do like his races before that, especially the Transylvania where this horse closed up from nowhere to win. At 10-1, we'll definitely use this horse on the up and up on the late pick 4 ticket or 5 ticket also. But to recap my selection for the 9th from Belmont, it is the Grade 1 $1 million Belmont Derby. Let's take the 10 horse Nation's Pride. Give kudos to the 3 horse Napoleonic War and the 7 horse Side Dog. 10-3-7-13 super. 10-3-7 in your multi race. So good luck to all, and please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5. Good luck, everybody.